If there's anyone here that is wanting to speak during the public comment time, there are public comment forms in the foyer. And I do need you to fill those out and then return them to me, please, before we get started. Thank you. Everybody's so quiet.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I will. Sure. Get your mic on over there, Ed. He's on.
Again, if anyone is here and that's going to make a public comment, I do need you to fill out a public comment form, and they're located in the foyer. Lonnie, is this my phone? He's turned me down.
Let me check and make sure.
He's turned me down. The volume down on me.
Let me see.
How's that?
I can hear you.
Good evening. There being a quorum present, this regular session of the Howe City Council is hereby called to order on Tuesday, September 16, 2025 at 6 p.m. under the Open Meetings Act of the state of Texas. Members present include Mr. Price, Mr. Tyler, Mr. Woods, Mr. Whitfield, myself, Ms. McDonald, and Mr. Ingram is absent this evening. If you will, please remove your hats and silence your cell phones as we stand for the invocation led by Mr. Whitfield and the pledges.
Father, just thank you for this time to come together as a community. Just thank you, Father, for the leadership here. Just be with us all as we guide the city and just guide the folks here, Lord, and just help us to all understand that we live here and this is the way we want the city to grow, and we just ask that you lead us and guide us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now for our pledges, the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Please be seated. Citizen comments. The City Council invites citizens to speak to the council on topics not already on the agenda. Excuse me. The City Council invites citizens to speak to the council on topics on the agenda not already scheduled for public hearing, or any other topic which the City Council has authority. Citizens may address the council for a maximum of 2 minutes. The council is unable to respond to or discuss any issues that are brought up during this section that are not on the agenda, other than to make a statement of factual information in response to a citizen's inquiry, or to recite existing policy in response to the inquiry. Except for public hearing items, please submit a public comment form to the mayor. I have not received any public comment forms, but I will, one last call. Anyone? None. Okay. Moving forward, mayor comments. The Howe Hump Day networking breakfast is held every first Wednesday of the month. This coming month will be Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. here in Summit Gardens. Everyone is welcome to attend. National Night Out is going to be Tuesday, October 7, 2025, at 6:30 p.m. downtown Howe. I'm very excited that we are having this because this is our first one in 11 years. The annual Halloween Festival is going to be held October 25, 2025, from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. downtown Howe. Visit the Howe Area Chamber of Commerce website for vendor registration. Howe Christmas Parade, Saturday, December 13, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. I want to encourage businesses, schools, churches, and other organizations to get involved and to participate in the parade by having a float of some type. Start your planning and your decorating early, because December 13th is just around the corner. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. My apologies. The annual Halloween Festival is October 27. All right, well, moving on to our Mayor Bragg moment, recognizing individuals for achievements and behaviors that positively affect the citizens and community. I have 5 individuals that I'm going to recognize today, and if these individuals, I believe they are all here with the exception of one, and so if you will, just wait, and then I will, unless you just want to come up and stand up here by yourself, otherwise I'll let everybody come up here and then the council can take a picture with you. First, we have Officer Justin Light. Chief Jake Sullivan nominated Officer Justin Light. Chief Sullivan stated on Friday, August 15, 2025, at approximately 11:35 a.m., Officer Like initiated a traffic stop on Highway 75 and attempted to arrest the driver. The driver resisted, and a struggle began between the suspect and Officer Like. A local citizen from Gunter stopped his 18-wheeler and jumped out to help Officer Like. Upon the chief's arrival, the chief saw both Officer Like and the citizen actively trying to contain the suspect. Chief Sullivan then had to tase the suspect. Upon further investigation, it was found that the suspect provided a false name to Officer Like, the suspect believing he was wanted for a fentanyl homicide suspect in Sherman. Chief Sullivan stated, this is a painful reminder of the dangers of police work, and our small community is not exempt from this type of people who travel or visit and commit crimes in Howe. Additionally, Chief Sullivan stated this event could have had another ending if it were not for the citizen who had stopped to help the officer in need. I would like to mention that the citizen did not want to be publicly recognized. However, we do greatly appreciate this person and their aid to Officer Like and to the Howe Police Department. So on August 15, 2025, Officer Justin Like demonstrated immense bravery and protection for the citizens and the city of Howe. Justin Like, Officer Justin Like, stand up please, and let's give him an applause. I'll call everybody up in a minute afterwards, and then we'll present your award. Michelle Hewitt. Chief Robert Manet nominated our city secretary, Michelle Hewitt, for an impeccable job that she does for taking care of the city employees and the citizens. Chief Manet stated, Michelle goes above and beyond at her job to help others and she takes care of people that she is assisting. Ms. Hewitt, please stand and let's give her an applause. Next up, he is not here, but it is Trevor Reed. Chief Robert Manet nominated Trevor Reed. Chief Manet stated that Captain Trevor Reed goes above and beyond his job, and he did a tremendous job on a recent major car wreck on Highway 75. Captain Reed was diligent about checking on patients and taking care of them in their worst-case scenarios. Captain Reed's patient care is exceptional and always goes above and beyond. Let's give Captain Reed an applause. And next up is Caden Sutherland. Officer Caden Sutherland. A local business owner stated that they received a phone call at 4:12 a.m. on September 15, 2025 from Officer Caden Sutherland. Officer Sutherland was tending to his nightly walkthrough duties, checking the doors of businesses to make sure that they were locked. Officer Sutherland noticed that the door of a local business was unlocked. Officer Sutherland secured the building and called the business owner. There was no foul play, no money or merchandise was stolen, as a sleepy employee had accidentally left the door unlocked. On September 15, 2025, Officer Sutherland demonstrated immense attention to detail and a commitment to safety for the citizens and the city of Howe. Officer Sutherland, please stand. Let's give him an applause. And certainly not last, but certainly not least, is Chief Jake Sullivan. I would like to brag on Chief Jake Sullivan for his commitment to make certain citizens feel safe and our community is protected. Chief Sullivan gives attention to detail and is always looking for ways for our city to be safer. It is because Chief Sullivan's leadership and guidance at the Howe Police Department that our officers are committed to actively patrolling and watching over our city. Chief, stand and let's give him an applause. And if you will, please come on up so we can give you your certificate, and let's take a picture with the council, please. This happened one other time, and it was stuck to somebody's. You sure it's not stuck to y'all's? Darn it. Okay. Here, you can put Trevor's. Look at yours. It's probably, sorry about that, Katie. All right, guys. Let's squeeze on in and let's get a picture. Hold your, just put your finger over Trevor's name.
Here you go. I'll take that. Get that one back. Right.
All right, moving on to, one last comment. There will be a special city council meeting on Monday, September 29, 2025 at 6 p.m. here at Summit Gardens, so the council can act upon the Grayson County Fire EMS contract. Unfortunately, we did not receive that contract when this current agenda had been posted. So if any council members, does anyone have a problem? Because we do need 4 members here for a special council meeting. Okay. Moving on to consent items. These items consist of non-controversial or housekeeping items required by law. Items may be considered individually by any council member making such request prior to a motion and vote on the consent items. 1, discuss, consider, and act upon consent items which are marked by an asterisk. These items include minutes of the regular council meeting, August 19, 2025, bills being paid for the month, detailed check register report, statement of revenue and expenditures, South State Bank secured deposits, August 2025, recap and standings, August 2025. Does the council wish to discuss any of these items? And if not, do we have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve.
Sean makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I think I heard Chad first. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Discussion items. 1, departmental report. Howe Police Department. Chief Sullivan, please.
Mayor and council, I appreciate the recognition, but without my team, the recognition is without withstanding. And I would like to kind of, before I get started off my report, as y'all know, we finished our physical year at the end of this month. And over the course of the last year, I think I have stressed Monty in more ways than one, as we've had unique financial challenges to try to solve problems and to move our police department forward with new technology, staffing, and things of that nature. I've had the privilege to do this for 31 years. Y'all know this is not the first police department that I've came in and turned around and make it to better to what it is. But I will say this is the first time between council, mayor, and Monty, y'all have made this pretty easy, to be quite candid. So that, I appreciate that. My team thanks you because it has allowed us to do the things that have made us successful. So here we go. In August this year, we had a 30% increase in call volume. We are still hovering around the 44% mark year over year from last year. Officers wrote 175 citations, issued out 97 warnings. That is a drastic increase in what this department has done from a year ago. Part of that is we have stepped our traffic enforcement on 75 because we've seen a drastic increase in accidents with the construction. So that has helped us deter some of that. We answered 179 calls for service. We completed 6 hours of training. So just to remind everybody, our training cycle ends August 31. So we were trying to get started and get geared up for the new year. And we completed that back in July, as you might recall. Our community engagement, we've done a lot of community programs over this past year. Obviously our town hall meeting, our Citizens Police Academy, and now bringing back National Night Out, which we're very excited to do. We also are looking forward to having TxDOT. TxDOT has volunteered to bring their roller truck, so we're kind of excited so citizens can see what that is and hopefully educate our public to make sure they wear their seatbelts. Some of the programs that we're working on, obviously, there's some other community programs that we want to roll out during the course of the next fiscal year, but that's a summary of what we did over the previous month. Any questions?
Council, questions? All right, thank you, sir, appreciate it. Howe Fire Department, Chief Benet.
Mayor, Council, good evening. In the month of August, Howe Fire Rescue ran a total of 76 calls for service. The fire department's been very busy doing a lot of schooling this past month. We have 2 of our staff completed their Instructor 1 certification class, which goes towards our TCFP accreditation for that. We have 3 of our staff currently in Sulphur Springs at Fire Academy hands-on skills for them to become TCFP certified firefighters. We have, and they will be completed over the next 2 weeks. They come back the 22nd, and they should be done, and then we'll have to pay their fees and submit it, and they should be complete and certified after that date. So hopefully by the end of the month, they should be completely certified and done. Both of our staff that have completed their fire academy and the skills last month are both now TCFP certified firefighters. So once this is completed, we will have one of our staff left that goes at the end of October, and then that will completely cross-train our entire full-time staff from EMS to fire and EMS with that. We're still underway of our certification classes every month. We've got people doing some kind of EMS or fire training skills, certification, card handling classes. So they're going great, and everyone that's involved is completing and passing and doing everything we need to do to further the department in the way we want it to go for the future. Howe Fire Rescue's on standby at the home football games, so come by and say hi to us. We'll be at every single one down by the concession stand with a ambulance and usually the fire truck there also. So if you need anything, don't hesitate, come by and see us. Any questions?
Council, questions or comments? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. City Secretary, Ms. Hewitt.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We don't have any new system updates at this time. For this past month, the focus was on coding budget line items and correcting them as needed for this fiscal year. That has been completed. Our court received 174 citations from the police department. 31 warrants were issued. We collected a total of $32,928.30 for citations this past month, and the focus now is just to complete the fiscal year 22-23 audit. Any questions?
Council? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Public Works, Mr. Walker.
Unless Justin wants to give this, I'll. Go ahead.
Mayor, Council. Public Works carried on 192 service orders, 16 meter sets for new homes, repaired four meter leaks repaired. Pothole patching, we used about 35 tons, all on block. 3 water main leaks, 20 disconnects for move-outs. Mowing, we're about 55 hours mowing. 1 sewer main backup, and 14 disconnects for non-payment. We had 141 hours on wells, sampling, reporting, water quality, and chemical analysis. Chlorine and ammonia analyzers worked as they should after the manufacturer rep came out for about a week. Analyzers have since started reading inaccurate again and causing problems. Work continues throughout the day. I mean, Jerry's coming out 4 hours a day and checking them. G2A take point has been turned off the past 2 weeks as they are having equipment issues and are not able to inject chlorine. Expect this to be fixed at the end of the month. In the meantime, we did get well 2 online and operating. They, along with our other 2 wells, have been able to keep up with demand without G2A, so we're just full well water right now. Any questions?
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I got one quick question. Would that be the reason for the soft water fill? Okay, thank you.
I personally like the soft water.
Yeah.
Right. Same.
I just want to say that I was noticing in your report that y'all have a attention to detail as well. We sure do appreciate that very much to make sure that our water is up and running.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. City Administrator, Mr. Walker.
I'd like to discuss the water just a little bit before I give my report. Big credit goes to Justin and Jerry. Jerry's a water expert, and he's been battling this system ever since he got here. Everybody knows, or most people know, that we've recently changed our water treatment method, switching because of the surface water G2A that we're getting from Lake Lavon, and you mix that with the well water that we have that we're pulling from the ground. Those require 2 different treatments. So we've been switching from free chlorine to chloramine, And in the past, the water has been treated with only chlorine alone for the well water. We now use chlorine in combination with ammonia for the surface water. Both methods are effective ways to achieve proper disinfection for the water. The new method is safer as it helps reduce harmful byproducts of chlorine disinfection, such as some of the chemicals that I can't pronounce. Chlorine reacts fast with water to destroy contaminants, but is also used up quickly once a reaction occurs. And by the way, Jerry typed this up for me. When using free chlorine, water systems are required to maintain a chlorine residual level of at least 0.2 throughout the system. This level represents the amount of chlorine that is still present in the water after the contaminants have been removed. To achieve this level of disinfection, a larger amount of chlorine must be used, in turn creating larger risk for the disinfection byproduct of chlorine. Chlorinated water uses chlorine in combination with ammonia. In this process, the addition of ammonia gives chlorine something to bind with, making the chlorine last longer in the system without having to use as much, thus lowering the amount of harmful byproducts. The implementation of this process has required the installation of new pumps and equipment, as well as online chemical analyzers that test chemical levels in the water to achieve a constant basis. When the analyzers detect the chlorine or ammonia levels low, they send a signal to turn on the pumps to inject more of whatever chemical is needed, in theory, maintaining the optimal levels desired. However, we've been facing some challenges with the new analyzers not reading the chemical levels accurately and causing the pumps to inject either too much or not enough chemical. The balance and ratio of chlorine to ammonia is crucial in producing chlorine-contaminated or chlorinated water. Our desired level of chlorine residual is a 1.75 to a 2, while desired ammonia level is a 0.1 to a 0.2. If too much chlorine is injected, it reduces the level of ammonia. If too much ammonia is injected, it lowers the chlorine level. The chlorine level gets high enough to use up all the ammonia, and we're back to chlorine and not making chlorinated water. If one well site puts out free chlorine and the other site's chloramine, the water mixes in the system. When water treated with the chlorine mixes chlorinated water, it causes odor, color, and taste issues. So when customers report the yellow water or it has an odor to it, it's meeting the requirement standards by TCEQ. It just looks and smells awful. But it's the reaction from the chlorine and the ammonia that are causing those discolorations. The Public Works crew is working diligently with the manufacturer and installers of the new analyzers and hope to have the bugs worked out soon. In the meantime, they're testing the chlorine and ammonia levels daily with portable analyzers to ensure the water is safe levels before it enters the system. We do not and will not ever rely solely on the online analyzers. The water is manually tested daily at all well sites, and if the disinfectant levels are ever outside of the safe levels, the pumps are shut off, tanks are dumped and refilled, and the pumps are not turned back on until the chemical levels are in accepted range. TCEQ acceptable range for free chlorine is 0.20 milligrams per liter to 4.0 milligrams per liter. Total chlorine residual is 0.5 to 4. Our target is to stay around the range of 1.75 to 2. And he has given some pictures of the differences and the analyzers and what it's reading and what it actually is. So Jerry informed me late last night or early this morning, I don't recall, that he is going to start manually injecting these until it is corrected and until these analyzers work properly. I know he's frustrated with it because, I mean, this is what he does for a living. He's very good at it. He puts his reputation on it, and these analyzers are not working. So he is battling the manufacturers, I know. He's been very vocal with them. So hopefully we'll get that fixed here pretty soon. But in the meantime, until until we do, he's going to manually do it every day and make the right injections. So I just wanted to give an update on the water in that situation.
Well, we really appreciate Jerry doing that.
And I know I'm not the mayor and I don't have a mayor brag, but I would love to brag on Justin and Jerry and his crew because they are absolutely remarkable at what they do. They catch a lot of grief on social media, but those guys battle and they're doing absolutely the best they can. They're just fighting some mechanical and some computer issues that they don't have control over, but they're trying to work through it and even doing it manually. So I'm very proud of them. As far as the city administrator report, our development agreement and plan developments, we have Noble Ridge 1A is under construction, 171 homes. That's Starlight and K-Hov constructing those. Noble Ridge 1B, they're pulling a lot of permits. That's 177 homes, and that's Lennar doing those. Ponderosa Point, we have commercial contracts signed with 7-Eleven and Taco Bell. They will they're looking at a rezone coming up for commercial aspects. The NRP group is under construction of the multifamily project that you see just north of Howe High School. That's 300 units. Grace Meadows, 51.5-acre lots. Hilltop Ranch, we have a development agreement there with 1,376 homes. Saddleback has completed the first of 7 homes on Bandera Drive near Connections Park. Nearing development agreements, Howe Meadows, which has formed a MUD, working for annexation for 762 homes. Talbot Estates will be discussing, which is 65 half-acre lots working on annexation. That's on Old Highway 6. We're running, as you know, we're running a water line through our future Central Park to make that happen, which is a pretty good expense. We have Centurion American Group, 669 homes, and they have purchased Phase 2 and Phase 3 of Noble Ridge. We're in discussions with them on financing mechanisms. We're in the early stages of Enlow 9698, consisting of 844 lots. That's on the really the triangle of 902 and Enlow Road, just on the east side of Enlow Road for that. We're going to have an easement for our water line that runs through that property, and I did have a discussion through email with the property owner today. As far as streets go, Public Works began to remove curbs on Swanner Drive due to the severe rollovers that have taken place over there. Swanner Drive is just in ridiculous shape, and it has been for a number of years. So that's going to be on our to-do list for this year's street budget, is try to correct some of the Swanner Drive issues. We have a number of others that we're going to be working towards. If everything goes right, Duke Street will be repaired or rebuilt actually from the service road all the way to the railroad tracks. So I'm sure the ISD will be happy about that as well, and all the parents that are driving up and down that street from school. Wastewater, BVRT, is very close to finalizing their land purchase on the south side of Howe. Now, Sherman checked their their secondary FLODAR device last month and said that their main device had failed, which resulted in our low throughput numbers from a month ago. We were really excited because we got a great looking bill from Sherman, but the secondary device showed that it was just a typical another month. So our bill to Sherman, instead of being $20,000, should have been $60,000. So our overall bill this month that we paid, including that back amount, was a little over $100,000. 7 acres on Duke Street has been closed for a Flex Mini warehouse development that will begin in phases as soon as everything is approved by the council, should it be. We're now working towards a development agreement to bring you in the future. Retail development has been submitted for the corner of Aubrey Street and Collins Freeway, which is near the library. We're in the very early stages with that, so we'll be bringing more information to you as we go. The mayor, the police chief, and I attended Interface Retail Mixed Use and Industrial Conference in Dallas last Tuesday. I moderated the Industrial Forum, and the Howe EDC was a major sponsor of the event. It helped put our name in front of a lot of DFW investors and real estate players. We learned a lot, and I think it was beneficial for the city of Howe understanding these retail developers and industrial developers and knowing kind of where they're looking as the Metroplex expands. So I thought that was very beneficial for us to attend. The utility billing, total amount billed for the current utility billing was $258,176.99. Number of mailed utility bills were 1,276. We had 38 new connections, and we had 21 disconnections. We had a total active hydrant meter account of 8 and 1 disconnected hydrant meter. That's all I got. Any questions?
Council? All right, thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Just so you know, if you were a recipient of the Mayor Bragg Award, I just realized, actually a few minutes ago, Ms. Would help me, I put the wrong date on there, so it's not June, it's September. So I will be printing everybody a new one. All right, moving forward, action item number 2, discuss, consider, and act upon investment report. Mr. Walker?
Mayor, council, for the month of August, we accrued we accrued $9,391.24 in interest with all of our city-owned accounts. The EDC accrued $1,719.38. Logic is currently yielding 4.39, while Techstar is yielding 4.26. For the year, the city has accrued $63,845 in interest, of which $50,423 has come since we initiated our investment policy back in April. That's a significant amount. The EDC for the year has accrued $7,586, of which $7,279 has come since we initiated our investment policy. The September report showed a sales tax total for the city of Howe of $54,489.58. The city closed out the fiscal year at $729,933.63 in sales tax. Of that, the EDC this month will receive $13,622.40 and closed out the fiscal year at $182,483.41.
I just want to comment because I want us to look at that for a minute for the city of Howe. So we have earned $63,845.04 in total so far this year. So if I've done my math correct, this is of which $50,423.73 has come since we initiated our investment policy. So if I've done my math correct, if we would still be doing things the old way, we would have only made $13,421.31. So I want to really highlight this because I want citizens to understand that as a city and the council, we're working really hard to try to invest the taxpayers' money and to be wise managers of your money. And I have to give a lot of credit to our city administrator, Monty Walker, for taking the lead on that. So,
Thank you.
any other comments or questions from the council? All right. Action item number 3, discuss, consider, and act upon library report from Tori Strickland. Ms. Strickland, I think, has a presentation also.
Please excuse the other half of me. This is a really long time for her to sit.
I'm sorry. We need an action item on that investment report.
Oh, I apologize. I'm thinking it's still June. Sorry, Ms. Strickland, give me just a minute here. So number 2, discuss, consider, I got caught up in my talking. 2, discuss, consider, and act upon investment report. Does the council wish to further discuss this item? If not, do we have a motion to approve the report?
I'll make a motion to approve the report.
Ed makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ricky makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Sorry, Ms. Strickland. Thank you, Monty. I saw a panda. Swear.
All right. Good evening. We are really fortunate at the library to have tons of volunteers that help us with all of our summer programming. So tonight I get the opportunity to recognize those volunteers that have helped us so much. When I call your name, if you would please come up, well, come grab your certificate and go to the stage. Caitlin Armstrong, Michelle Armstrong, lots of people aren't here. Delane McLeod, Andronica Morris. Andronica came every single week, faithfully, and she's volunteered for a long time at the library. Allie Portman, Audrey Sullivan, everyone that is not here will get their certificates hand-delivered. Eva Fullenweider, Riley Baez, Lainey Ballard, Yair Rangel, Paley Ozuna, and Hazel. Hazel, get your paper. She is the youngest volunteer at the library, and she spent many hours helping me weed out old library books and get things taken care of. But we very much appreciate all that you do for the library. You are fabulous volunteers.
Let's give him a hand.
Thank you again, ladies. I really appreciate all that you do.
We appreciate our library volunteers.
In other news about the library, we had a very successful year. We continue to have new patrons coming in all the time. We actually increased our patrons about 25% this year. I'm just so surprised at how many people we have coming in all the time. We were awarded a grant over the summer from HEB to help cover all of our library funding, so that covered the bubble truck. It covered our Junior Master Gardeners, which is a program for 2nd through 5th grade, through the Ag Extension. It also covered our drinking fountain doesn't work, so I purchased water and popsicles for all of those events, and that covered all of those things. Our funding remains the same. The county gives us our $2,280. The city contributes to $20,000, and every year the Howe ISD budget goes up because salaries go up, and every year I ask for more money, and I typically get more money so that we can continue to order books for the library. Coming up, we are working on our holiday programming, trying to get more things happening in the library, and that's all. Our program attendance is increasing, not by a lot, but we are again seeing more people in the library. We do have Dungeons and Dragons every Wednesday from 3:30 to 5, in case you're interested. We continue to do our story time, which has been a long time, and that's every Friday at 10 a.m.
Does the council have any questions? Thank you, Ms. Strickland. We sure do appreciate you very much. Mr. Walker, we have this under an action item. Do we need to take action on this? Or do you suppose this should have been a discussion item?
It's an action item, I will take action.
Okay, so we're not going to take action on it? You would, okay. So does the council wish to discuss this item? Number 3, discuss, consider, and act upon the library report from Tori Strickland. And if not, do we have a motion to approve the library report?
I motion to approve the library report.
Sean makes a motion to approve the library report. Do I have a second? Ricky makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 4, discuss, consider, and act upon the resignation of Kevin Crossan from the Howe EDC Board.
Mayor, council, regretfully, Mr. Crossan has decided to step down from the EDC board due to personal reasons. We recommend the approval of his resignation so that we can fill his vacancy.
Does council wish to discuss this item any further? And if not, do we have a motion to approve the resignation of Kevin Crossan from the Howe EDC Board?
A motion to approve the resignation of Kevin Crossman from the Howe EDC Board.
Okay, Sean makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Chad makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 5, discuss, consider, and act upon temporary closure of the 100 East Haining Street block for the Howe Police Department National Night Out on Tuesday, October 7, 2025, with a closure time beginning at 5 p.m. Does the council wish to discuss this item any further? And if not, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Ricky's making a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ed makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 6, discuss, consider, and act upon the temporary closure of 100 East Haining Street, block for the Howe Area Chamber of Commerce Downtown Halloween Festival. Does the council wish to discuss this item any further? And if not, do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion we approve closing of 100 East Haining Street.
Okay. Ed makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Chad makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Resolution number 2025-0009, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Howe, Texas, authorizing the submission of an application to the Texas General Land Office for Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program and authorizing mayor and city administrator to act as the city's executive officer and authorized representative in all matters pertaining to the city's participation in the CDBG-MIT program. Mr. Walker.
These next 2 resolutions are in regard to the upcoming comprehensive plan that we're planning on getting done. We haven't had one since 2010. These are routine items to finish the grant process so that we can move forward and obtain our updated comprehensive plan.
Does the council want to discuss this any further or have any questions? And if not, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve
Oh.
resolution 2025-0009.
All right, Ricky makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Sean makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Resolution number 2025-0010, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Howe, Texas, adopting procurement policy in relation to federal grants. Number 8, discuss, consider, and act upon resolution number 2025-0010, adopting a new procurement policy in relation to submission of an application to the CDBG-MIT Resilient Communities Program. Does the council wish to discuss this item any further? And if not, do we have a motion?
I'll motion to approve Resolution 2025-0010.
Chad makes the motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, I could not hear.
I'll second.
It was Chad.
Ed.
Ed, sorry.
Yep.
Ed made the motion, or the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Moving on to ordinance number 837, an ordinance of the City of Howe, Texas, levying property taxes for use and support of the municipal government of the city of Howe, Texas for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, a tax of 0.418429 on each $100 valuation of property for the purpose of maintenance and operations, and a tax of 0.066048 on each $100 valuation of property for the purpose of interest and sinking on bonds and certificates of obligation. We will now have a public hearing for the ordinance number 837. This public hearing is open to members of the public who wish to comment on ordinance number 837. Do I have anyone in the audience that wants to speak? Since I do not, we will close the public hearing and return to regular session. Number 9, discuss, consider, and act upon ordinance number 837 with a recorded vote. Does the council wish to have further discussion on this? If not, I'm going to move forward. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance number 837?
I make a motion, we approve ordinance number 837, or 838, no, 837.
Okay. Ed makes the motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ricky makes the second. This item requires recorded individual vote. When I call your name, please say yay if you are for. Say nay if you are against. Mr. Billy Ingram, he's absent. Mr. Ricky Price.
Yay.
Mr. Sean Tyler.
Yay.
Mr. Chad Woods.
Yay.
Mr. Ed Whitfield.
Yay.
Thank you. Ordinance number 838, an ordinance of the City of Howe, Texas, adopting the budget for the City of Howe, Texas for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2025 and ending September 30, 2026, providing for the intra and inter-department and fund transfers, and declaring an effective date. This budget will raise more total property taxes than last year's budget by $109,942, and of that amount, $75,890 is tax revenue to be raised from new property added to the tax roll this year. We will now have a public hearing for ordinance number 838. I'm opening this up to the public for any public member who wishes to speak or make a comment. Do I have anybody that wants to speak? Since we do not, we will now close this public hearing, return to regular session. Number 10, discuss, consider, and act upon ordinance number 838 with the recorded vote. Does the council wish to discuss this item any further before we move forward? Okay, then I'm going to ask for, do we have a motion to approve ordinance number 838?
I'll motion to approve ordinance number 838.
Sean makes that motion to approve. Do I have a second? Ricky makes a second. This item requires a recorded individual vote. When I call your name, please say yay if you are for or nay if you are against. Mr. Ingram, absent. Mr. Ricky Price.
Yay.
Mr. Sean Tyler.
Yay.
Mr. Chad Woods.
Yay.
Mr. Ed Whitfield.
Yay.
Thank you. Moving on to executive session, the City Council will convene in closed session pursuant to the provisions of the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, executive session as authorized by the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, consultation with an attorney on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter, Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property, Texas Government Code, Section 551.087, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations, and Texas Government Code Section 551.074, personnel matters. Discussion items are consultation with attorney, EDC, purchase of property, Talbot Estates Development Agreement. We will now go into an executive session, and the time is 6:52 PM. We will now return to open session, and the time is 7:30 PM. Number 11, discuss, consider, and act upon any items discussed in executive session. There's going to be no action taken on that item. Number 12, discuss, consider, and act upon entering into a contract with the purchase of OTP Howe Block 3, Lot E, PT 1 through 5, apartments, acres, .1435, and authorize expenditures. Does the council wish to discuss this item? And if not, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Ricky is going to make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
That was Ed, I believe, made the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 13, discuss, consider, and act upon Talbot Estates Development Agreement and authorize signature by the mayor. Does the council wish to discuss this item any further? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
Sean makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ricky makes a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. If there's no further business to come before this council, this meeting stands adjourned at 7:31 PM. Thank you and have a good night.